Alrighty, lads, another day, another round of buffs, and I do think this is the last round of the more insane buffs we're getting on NA, and that is because Okita over here, my beloved, is now going to be capable of doing Black Grail farming, and like with a lot of these, they are Black Grail farms that you do need to get the Repend 2 for, and unfortunately, I'm just a fraud. I don't have it. Me and my Okita are not bonded up enough, or I just simply haven't pulled enough copies. I did think I had enough, but apparently that's on my JP where I have her at NP3. So, as per usual, to kind of supplement the fact that I don't have her append 2 up, I'm going to be showing this off and I will use a command spell in that place, but I'll let you know where the append 2 will come in handy. Now, she's going to be a little interesting because I did a couple of test runs before this just to kind of see what her looping was going to look like, make sure I didn't look like a fraud while I was recording this video. And this node is going to be a bit interesting because Assassins and Berserkers don't really give you a whole lot of refund, and the Canis at the end is 220,000. I don't think at NP1 she's gonna be able to clear that unless, I don't know, we get some face cards and crit, but as a lot of you guys know, Okita does have this very annoying stun on her NP, but I am at least hoping to get the stun to proc, because I think a lot of people misunderstand how the stun works. I'll get a lot of comments where people will say, oh, you can't use Okita in farming because, you know, she's going to stun herself. And that is true. She does stun herself on NP, but that does not carry over to the next turn. That just affects your face-up, your follow-up cards that would follow up in NP. So if you're just trying to do raw farming with Okita and, you know, maybe yours is a bit stronger than mine, you know, maybe you have her at NP 2, 3, 4, 5, you know, you got her at stronger NP levels, you're not really going to be relying on your face cards. But for instance, if I was trying to take Okita to a 90 plus or a plus plus node, especially, God forbid, I would be very reliant on trying to get some of those face cards. So for me, it wouldn't be super great. But like a lot of the other ones, you're just going to immediately go ahead and just start hitting up your cards. The new most powerful effect that she's getting is that nice little bit of extra NP gain that she's getting over there. This is why you need the append 2 at full level, because that'll put her at 50% plus one of the Scotty's batteries. Very similar to Bradamante, actually. You know, if you watch the Bradamante video, it's exactly like that. I actually don't think you need the crit skill. Yeah, you don't need the crit skill. The crit skill doesn't really do anything. I mean, unless you are going to be relying on the face cards, I think it's 100% crit damage she gives herself, then I guess that could be useful. Which, look, that might be something my Okita is going to need. But you can see that the 30% from her third skill over here, plus the 20% of pen, and then one of the Scotty's 50% would put her at 100% with Black Grail. So then you'd be able to just plug suit out and, you know, give her the additional Scotty buffs. The reason, by the way, that just, because I feel like reiterating this will help out newer players that might not know, because Castle Scotty is not as crazy of a support as, say, the new Ruler Scotty, or certainly not Castoria or Koyan Sky or any of these people. The reason that she is needed, though, is pretty specifically just for this large quick buff, because not only is this a large surge of damage you're going to be giving your you know, whatever quick looper you're using, but it also gives them a massive NP gain boost on their quick cards. And especially for this Black Grail looping, you really need to be hitting those specific amounts of refund. You need to be hitting 50%, which Okita for this is probably, I think, going to hit around 52% against Berserkers and Assassins over here. They don't give you a whole lot back. So it is really, really important. You do need to be hitting those. So, like, getting the additional quick buff for that extra refund to make sure you're hitting those is very important. Because sometimes, even though, say, someone like an Oberon might have the 70%, because you're lacking on the refund department, because you don't have enough of a massive quick buff going for you, you still might not be able to refund at the end of the day. Because remember, you gotta remember, like, quick is not as forgiving as arts and stuff, right? Like, the refund that you're getting is very, very important. I'll go ahead and fire this. Again, in the command spell, there was used to supplement the 20% of pen skill that I don't have unlocked. Because, look, I'm trying to get me more copies of Okita Samurai. I'm trying my best. Yeah, 51%, just barely enough. But against Berserkers and Assassins, that is not a bad showing. That's not bad. And so you can see we can just go ahead and slap on another 50%. right there. I think also, if you were paying attention, we did get stunned on the NP there, but you could see it doesn't affect her going into this turn. Again, kind of annoying. I do wish they would just remove it. I understand the funny story reason why they have that on there, but I would appreciate it if I just didn't have to deal with that. Call me crazy, but I don't want my units to be stunning themselves. And because I think we will actually see it come into play right here, because I don't know if she can actually drop a 220 Canis type neutral. That is kind of a big ask. Kind of a big ask for Okita over here. But hey, if she doesn't stun herself, we can get it. Actually, can I kind of cheese this a little? I don't... Because my Okita has 2 quick cards that have the Tamamo mirror on it that prevents you from being stunned. But we didn't get that quick card. We didn't get the ones with... Okay, well, you know what? We're gonna have to ball. I guess we could use her cards before we fire the NP. But I guess... I don't know. Yeah, I guess we could have done it that way. But we just won't get stunned, actually. Never mind. I was like, look, dude, we're not gonna get stunned. Dude, we did it. See, okay, but like some of the other ones, I do like showing sometimes if they're not able to clear, because we have, like, Saber Alter that is doing 2.4 mil, and they have Bradamante that's kind of clearing, like she's hitting around in, like, that 3 to 400k range. Even though I think this is a really crazy buff for Okita over here, it's not like, again, she's gonna be meta-defining, you know, crushing everything in her path. She's got some weaknesses. Like, the fact is... Like, there's no power mods on this character. They just don't have anything to really, like, push them up to that, like, next degree or whatever. But they are still good, right? Like, if this is a character you have in your Chaldea, they can be your quick looper. But they are somebody that eventually you probably are going to sub out, you know? And that's why I'm kind of glad we got the stun, because it does show off the weakness for the character, because it is like a 60% chance to get stunned. By the way, look, I wasn't lying. We had the thing. It's just, you know, Shrug, sometimes you don't find that. And that is just RNG that you have to play into with that character. Again, though, I will acknowledge that we could have just used the crit cards before we did the NP. But I wanted to show that off that, I mean, that's a detriment that you could run into, right? If you're in that scenario, I guess you really do have to use the face cards in front. So that way your Okita doesn't get stopped. But I'm not gonna put you guys through me like having to slowly chip my way through this. I guess actually, let's just do that. Let's just get a move on. Let's just skedaddle on out of here, and let's do it like that. I guess hey, this shows it all for people that don't know. But you give yourself specific stun immunity on that, so we literally cannot get stunned on the NP here. But yeah, it's just a nice little buff for Okita. I'm thinking about maybe doing one for the Karna, but Karna you can't really do anything special with. He just hits really hard. He just does big damage. Like that boy's just pretty good. So I don't know. If you want to let me like show off the Karna buff, I have no problem doing that. But yeah, I mean, just quick little video showing off what Okita can do after she got her newest buff, because the next set of buffs are not actually going to be that crazy, you know? Yeah, because after... I mean, I guess I like can't do one for Raiko because I don't have her, but... Yeah, the next set is not the craziest. I think that's the nice way of saying it. It's not that dummy nutty broken, so... We'll see. Let me know if you want me to cover the Karna one. But with that being said, like, subscribe, all that good stuff, and I'll catch y'all in the next one.